And I'm, as I said in my note, I'm pretty pressed for this. So I'm just going to start and share the screen out and talk a little bit about how I've been doing television shows here.
Actual television shows on Access Humboldt, huh?
Yeah.
It's really upscale.
So I'm going to share my screen here.
Okay. See how your screen works. There you go. Wow, that looks good.
Yeah. So this is a show that I do called Radio Centro with Brenda Perez from Centro del Pueblo. Mm-hmm. It's in Spanish, so don't, unless, any Spanish speakers?
High school.
Okay, yeah,
a long time ago.
I know 3 or 4 words. That's about it.
Well, that's all you
need.
I don't speak. I mean, I had high school Spanish, and I, got A's, and I'm hopelessly bad at it. So, but I can kind of understand, it a little bit. But I can understand it enough to do a Spanish language television show. So anyway, the way that we do this is I use Skype, and I just record both Skype and an audio track. Lately, I've had to do that because I've discovered that Final Cut Pro does not play well with Skype audio. I do a show called North Coast Journal Preview, and I've just had these bedeviling problems where I think it's when the resolution drops way down. Mm-hmm. Final Cut just refuses to play it. I mean, you can hear it, yeah. But the waveform goes away. The audio waveform disappears, and then when you go to share it out, there's just nothing there, and just their mouths are moving, but nobody's saying it.
So it isn't a matter of latency; it's a matter of the actual signal bandwidth, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've looked at all the message boards. Juan and I have done a bunch of research on it, and I just can't quite figure out why it's not doing its thing anymore. But anyway, so I've done, the way I've gotten around that is I've got Audition on the computer, and so I record the audio using Audition, just for a backup. And it's just their program for some reason. It must be someone has really bad low connection. So it's pushing through audio that's very, very low resolution. And the Final Cut Pro just says, hey, what the heck is this?
Okay.
But I had it, I thought it was just, you could see the waveform disappear. And I thought, well, this is just the sections that won't share out. But on Wednesday, when I edited their show together, there was a section that you could see the waveform, and yet that section didn't throw out the audio. So I'm just going to go to, using the Audition audio on everything and just, call it good. And that's kind of what I've done on this.
So synchronization is not an issue?
Well, Final Cut will sync the audio up for you. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So it looks at the waveform and it determines what's appropriate.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what it's called. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, if they have facial recognition for some cameras, you better have audio sync with Final Cut, which is really advanced.
We do this thing all the time where we will have a digital recorder that's connected to an audio board. Right. And then we'll just have the camera audio, and we use that just for sync. And then we dump that audio and use the good audio. And I'm trying to think of what it's called. And it's not coming to me right now. Maybe it'll come to me in the course of this. But anyway, let me just show you what I do here. So I created an open for them.
Bienvenidos todos, esto es su programa Radio Centro. Estoy transmitiendo desde territorio Wiyot. Esto es el noroeste de California.
Okay, so I'll show you what this looks like. And so, well, let's see. And I'm going to disable that. And I'm going to uncrop this. Reset. And now there we go. Reset. Okay, all right. So this is what I'm recording. I'm on this call, so I'm down here, right here. And then I found that if I don't have an equal number of panes in my recording, then it'll take one of these and make it like a vertical aspect ratio, and the other one will be horizontal. So then I'll have this terrible, thing that it's really hard to do with. It'll just be like a straight up and down deal. So I've taken to adding another Skype account that I have on my computer out here. So I get 4 panes, right?
Okay.
And so then I have, equal, these are all the same size. So when I,
right. But
so,
that's just your media bin. That's not the program.
Right. That's just the media.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that.
Let me see if I can get it back to where it was before.
So the 2 panes on the left are just dummy, and you're going to cut them up later?
That's right. Mm-hmm. There it goes.
Seems like you put some of those left panes on your timeline.
Yeah. So what happens is, so now what I've done is I've taken the 2 panes, I've cropped them out. So down in the lower thing, I have the other lady, right?
Right.
And I have the host up on top.
Good.
So what I'll just do is I'll just go along and put in a cut, and then I could come in here and stretch her out so she fills the entire screen.
Yeah.
And then I just go to where I want to stop, where she starts talking to the host again. I put in a cut. Actually, I put in the cuts on both ends before I stretch anything out, because I want this bit here to remain like this throughout the entire thing, so I don't have to redo that every time. And then I get back to her. And then that's just lather, rinse, repeat throughout the entire thing, all the way to the end. And it works out really well. I have, like North Coast Journal, I have 3 people in there. So I have all 4 panes, and so they come in up in the right aspect ratio. But when I just have 2, I have to do this. So yeah, and you can see down here is my quote unquote bad audio. And here is the good audio that I recorded with Audition.
I see it down there.
And I just match those 2 up. Down here at the bottom, you see this radios, or their Central del Pueblo logo that I just use as a background to fill in these spots.
Sure. You're not actually cutting that into your show.
Right. So that's on the bottom. The next layer up is the guest. The next layer up is the host.
Right.
And then anything like they've got some, inserts and stuff. And yeah, and it works out really great. Let's see.
So in your and let me presume maybe that's not the case, because they don't need to use the studio because it's Skype. So
Right.
you're just sitting in your cubicle and you're cutting everything, and you're never in the picture.
Right. I'm never in the picture.
Just your intro is in the picture, and then you cut right to the interviews.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually record this in the control room on a Mac in there, and then I just put it in Media Drop, and I come out here to my computer out at the front desk where I do my editing.
So you do capture it in the control room?
Yeah. So yeah, so that's how it's done, and I've got it kind of down to, you know, I can edit a show in an hour, you know, and
how long is the show?
This one's about 39 minutes. It's usually about.
Well, that's fast editing.
So that's not even 2 passes through.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So I've just got a system. I have a system worked out.
Right.
And so it's kind of cookie cutter. It's kind of assembly line, but it's super effective. You know,
and knock it out. Yeah, because I'm sitting on a lot of material that I'm scared away by the amount of time it's going to take to get them up online.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, just the way my life is here at Access Humboldt is they don't have a lot of time, and I just have to punch it out, and that's kind of always been my mantra anyway. Juan Carrillo is our production manager, does these super meticulous, beautiful videos, you know, and I'm nothing like that. I'm like down and dirty. Let's get this out and get it on the air. Mm-hmm. And both of those things have their places. You know, if you have the time and the luxury of having that time, you know,
sure.
It's, you know, I would prefer it looked nice. And it doesn't look bad, you know, but it's kind of, for me, it's kind of like, are the ideas getting across? Is the content being communicated? And, you know, that's the important thing. And then the other thing I do with this is that it's also a radio show. So I just output a WAV file.
Yeah.
And take it over and throw it into the computer, the radio station computer, and well, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. You got a radio show too. You know,
a radio show.
Which is how how all of these shows started off. This Radio Centro, Redwood Wonk, and North Coast Journal Preview all started as just audio only segments.
Sure. Yeah. And
then pre-COVID, we started saying, hey, well, let's make them a TV show too. And so the first ones that we did in the studio.
In the studio, sure.
And I did kind of a variation on this, which is I used one of our member cameras. I recorded audio with Audition on the board, and then I used the 4K setting on
for
the
your video.
And then I just put up a set shot, and then I could crop in on any of the people, so I could do my ISO shots, you know, just by cropping in on them. And that worked great too, you know, and also just, you know, very easy and very, very quick, you know.
So that my question originally had to do with live switching, but you don't do live switching for this. You're going to edit it later, so you might as well do it then.
Right. Although just recently, Juan has come up with a way to do NDI video, where we send this Skype feed to the TriCaster, our TriCaster, which is our switching, you know, software that we use in public meetings, and we also have one here that we use for productions, which is our production switcher. But the new TriCaster will allow you to do NDI audio, so you can go in and isolate every camera that comes in.
Yeah, wow.
And you can put them up as inputs on the switcher. And then, yes, you can live switch just like a live production. And you can also ISO record. You could also record I'm not sure how many it'll do at one time. It might choke if you try to do too many, but I think you can do 3 or 4 people and record them, you know, isolated out, and then come back and take all those out, and then, you know, and then cut them, you know, later. But we have started, and Juan just did a production today. He did the Food for People, their kickoff of their campaign for their new building and stuff. And he did that using Skype and NDI, and just live switched it. You could, the nice, you know, you have graphics, and, you know, you can just bring those up, and it's pretty cool, you know. I mean, I would prefer to do, you know, back to the way that we did it with people, with a crew, with the real live people in the studio. And, you know, I miss the members terribly, and I miss doing Media Lab with them. But we got to keep rolling, you know, we got to keep rolling somehow.